The girl realizes she's trapped inside the school because every time she steps outside the campus, she's instantly pulled back to the boiler room. She tries over and over, but no matter what she does, she always ends up back in the same place. Believing the place must be hiding something, she inspects the boiler room. She notices bloodstains and markings left by the police. Curious, she goes looking for her best friend, but strangely, her friend can't hear her at all. Even stranger, her friend is putting up missing person flyers, with her face on them. Confused, she heads to the gym, thinking she'll find more people to talk to, but to her shock, the students and teachers there are holding a memorial for her. As Maddie stands frozen in disbelief, a boy walks up to her and says,
"The good news is it's only a matter of time till they realize you're dead."
The girl's name is Maddie. She used to be a normal student here, with a boyfriend and a best friend, but one day after class, she walked out of her room and somehow ended up like this. The boy, Charlie, tells her she's dead, and since this is her first day in this world, she's still disoriented. Seeing Maddie still doesn't believe him, Charlie brings her to the gym, where others like them gather, students, teachers, even a janitor who all died on school grounds decades ago. A teacher explains that they're all restless spirits, which is why they're trapped in the school forever. He then asks Maddie to introduce herself. Maddie says, "I don't know how I died. Maybe I was murdered. But I don't know for sure. All I know is there was blood on the boiler room wall. And now I'm here." Her words shock everyone. It's the first time they've seen a case with no known cause of death, no suspect, and not even a body. Seeing their reactions, Maddie takes Charlie to the last place she remembers being alive. That day, after leaving class, she planned to meet her boyfriend Xavier in the parking lot, but he told her to go ahead because his phone had run out of battery. But as she walked up the stairs, she noticed Xavier's phone actually still had battery. She pulled it out to take a picture as proof, but the moment she did, the phone suddenly died. Xavier then came up the stairs, but he clearly couldn't see Maddie or Charlie at all. Maddie also notices someone has been scribbling on her missing person flyers. She angrily tears them up, but they reappear instantly. Charlie says it's normal, they exist in different worlds. Charlie urges her to accept her death, but Maddie refuses and follows him into a classroom. There, she sees her best friend Simon yelling in anger, refusing to believe she's dead. Simon is furious that Xavier hasn't done anything since Maddie disappeared, so he suspects Xavier had something to do with it. They get into a physical fight, spilling the contents of Xavier's backpack. Maddie's phone falls out. Simon shouts, "Why do you have Maddie's phone?" It's a shocking clue. Hiding a missing girl's phone is practically admitting guilt, but Maddie refuses to believe Xavier killed her. She thinks he kept the phone to investigate on his own. Meanwhile, Simon is convinced Xavier is the killer and wants to teach him a lesson. He and Nicole corner Xavier.
Stop!
Hey, stop it! What do you just think you're doing? Don't give me another reason to expel you.
Watching her friends fight, Maddie panics and runs after them to search for clues, but the moment she steps outside the school, she's dragged back into the boiler room. Staring at the bloodstains on the pipes, Maddie tries to recall her memories. A few fragments appear, but nothing useful. She doesn't know why she died. She can't leave the school, her body is missing, and she has no idea who the killer is. Maddie completely breaks down. A few days pass. Many people gather in the gym, including Maddie's mother. Since there's no body to bury, they're holding a vigil for her. Meanwhile, Xavier is escorted out by the police. Maddie wants to hear what the police are saying, but the moment she steps out, she overhears something shocking. The police officer is Xavier's father. Xavier has already confessed everything on the phone. It turns out that while dating Maddie, Xavier had been seeing Claire from the cheer squad. He planned to meet Claire behind Maddie's back but accidentally sent the message to Maddie. Since the message hadn't been marked read yet, Xavier secretly took Maddie's phone to delete it, never expecting that she would disappear afterward.
I didn't know she wasn't coming back, Dad.
All right. It's all right. Come here.
Maddie is stunned. She never imagined her boyfriend would cheat on her. That evening, everyone lights candles for the vigil. The one grieving the most is Simon. Heartbroken, he skips the vigil and sits alone in the classroom crying. Xavier is taken away by the police. But late at night, everything changes. As Simon stands by the window, Maddie appears and thanks him.
Maddie, what the
Simon can actually see Maddie, something that shocks Charlie, since no living person has ever seen a ghost before. Maddie immediately tells Simon that Xavier is not the killer. Right then, Nicole enters the room, but she can't see Maddie at all. She calls Simon outside. Maddie asks Charlie what's going on, but he has no idea. Nothing like this has ever happened among the spirits. With no choice, Maddie chases after Simon, but the moment she steps out, Simon can no longer see her. She runs past the school boundary and is instantly pulled back to the boiler room. Confused, Maddie asks the other spirits, but as expected, none of them know anything.
Has anyone here ever been seen by a living person?
That doesn't happen, hon.
Determined to understand what's happening, Maddie goes to find Simon, hoping that while he can still see her, he'll help investigate her death. She wonders if she might not actually be dead yet. Simon asks whether she remembers how she left the boiler room. Maddie slowly recalls she fainted inside the boiler room, then woke up after some liquid dripped on her face. When she opened her eyes, she saw blood on the wall, and then she saw Xavier walking out of a classroom. After that, her memory cuts off. Simon then searches Xavier's locker but finds nothing. Maddie takes him to the abandoned auto shop behind the school, a place where she and Xavier used to hang out, hoping to find clues. Sure enough, Simon finds a phone fragment identical to Maddie's. After leaving the auto shop, they discuss whether the fragment really belongs to Maddie. At that moment, Mr. Anderson, the English teacher, walks by. He says he doesn't believe Maddie is dead and urges Simon not to give up. Maddie feels she can trust him, so Simon hands the fragment to Mr. Anderson.
Where'd you find this?
Where did you find this? The police return to Xavier's house. His father tells him he's now the prime suspect. They managed to unlock Maddie's phone but found nothing. It looked like a brand new device. He orders Xavier to stay home and not go anywhere, especially not to school. But Xavier is stubborn. While his father is on a call, he slips out on his bike and goes to Maddie's house. Her mother invites him in. She looks exhausted and worn down from the stress of Maddie's disappearance. Xavier is there to ask about Maddie's real phone because he knows the one the police have isn't hers. He hopes Maddie's mom might know something, but instead, she asks him directly whether he heard her daughter.
Yeah, I heard her.
Maddie and Simon continue anxiously discussing the clues. Maddie believes someone definitely heard her and that the reason is hidden in her missing phone. So, on a stormy night, Simon sneaks back into the auto shop to look for more fragments. Sure enough, he finds another piece.
What are you doing here so late, Simon?
I came back to look for
Look for what? Maybe you should let the people in charge do their job.
Mr. Anderson escorts Simon out of the auto shop. He tells him to go home and not to mention anything that happened tonight. Simon wants to ask why he was there, but the teacher simply tells him to drive safely. The next day, Maddie and Simon discuss everything again. Neither of them expected Mr. Anderson to be involved, especially since Maddie used to admire him. He often gave her advice after class and even shared his phone number so she could call if she ever needed help. But now, with no reason to be at the auto shop, it's clear he's connected somehow. They decide to investigate Mr. Anderson. First, Simon asks Nicole to distract him. Meanwhile, Simon sneaks into the teacher's office, steals his car keys, and searches the vehicle. Sure enough, he finds another phone fragment. Mr. Anderson had claimed he would turn the fragment over to the police, but instead, he hid it. The main suspect immediately shifts from Xavier to Mr. Anderson. For Maddie, however, it's hard to believe a teacher she trusted could be her killer. Maddie goes to see Charlie. He says that in this situation, she should talk to Rhonda, a ghost who was killed by her homeroom teacher. Rhonda explains that about 30 years ago, she had a homeroom teacher who cared deeply for her. He helped her study every day and even secured her a chance to apply to UC Berkeley. But when Rhonda went to tell him the good news, he demanded something in return. She refused, and never made it out of his office alive. Maddie can hardly believe it. She immediately looks up information about Rhonda's teacher. What she finds shocks her. Mr. Anderson's office was remodeled from that very teacher's old office. Meanwhile, Nicole discovers something strange too. While studying, she sees Maddie's account like her photo and leave a comment telling her to go somewhere. Thinking Maddie is still alive, Nicole rushes to the rooftop they used to hang out on, but finds no one there. While she's still confused, Xavier suddenly shows up. As the prime suspect, his appearance startles Nicole. Xavier admits he followed her, not to hurt her, but because he wants to investigate Maddie's disappearance too. He insists he has no idea who used Maddie's account. After Xavier explains everything, Nicole chooses to believe him. They sit and talk, completely forgetting about who used Maddie's account. After discussing, they decide to join Maddie's mom and search the woods near the school for clues. Maddie and Simon search Mr. Anderson's office but find nothing. Meanwhile, Xavier and the others discover something in the woods, a detention slip with Maddie's name on it, along with the footprint of a grown man, indicating Maddie was in the forest with him. As Maddie and Simon prepare to leave the office, Mr. Anderson suddenly returns. With no choice, they hide in a cabinet. Mr. Anderson looks furious, talking on the phone and repeatedly mentioning Maddie.
Well, you know what I shouldn't have done? I shouldn't have given Maddie that money.
Hearing this, Maddie is even more confused. She never asked him for money, so why would he say that? As they ponder, she notices a hidden compartment behind the cabinet. Why does our English teacher have so much money hidden in his office? I have no idea. But it has to be connected to your death. To uncover the truth, Maddie wants to check the messaging history on Mr. Anderson's phone, but as a ghost, she doesn't know the password and can't open it. Seeing the potential killer right in front of her, she grows anxious and urges Simon to help, but Simon is taking a test and ignores her. When Mr. Anderson closes the blinds, the bell rings, and Simon immediately hands in his test and steals the teacher's phone. Maddie doesn't know where Simon went, so she returns to the gym. The other spirits are there too. Suspecting the killer might be someone among them, Maddie asks if anyone knows anything about Mr. Anderson. A ghost named Wally says he once saw Mr. Anderson misspell someone's name during a fundraising event. For an English teacher, it was strange, but that was all he noticed. Although these spirits are stuck in the school forever, watching a random living person all day isn't exactly reasonable, so they know little else. Maddie decides she should ask other ghosts too. Maybe some other ghost saw something. Simon manages to steal Mr. Anderson's phone but can't unlock it. At that moment, Nicole arrives and mentions the detention slip they found in the woods, but the footprints disappeared halfway. Simon barely reacts since he's focused entirely on the phone. Simon tries telling Nicole he can see Maddie, but Nicole responds that she can feel Maddie too. I just didn't want to say it because she might not be dead. I can sense her just like you do. Their conversation goes nowhere, and Simon walks off helplessly. They don't realize the school counselor has been watching from behind. After Nicole leaves, she approaches Simon and tells him he can come to her if he's dealing with stress or mental issues. Right then, Mr. Anderson's phone triggers its anti-theft system, showing that he's tracking it. Simon immediately cuts the counselor off and runs away. Meanwhile, Nicole is in the broadcasting room where the school is doing a live stream, led by Claire, the girl Xavier secretly dated, though Nicole doesn't know that. Everything goes smoothly until Claire, during her speech, suddenly mentions Maddie and says that if someone had noticed earlier, Maddie might still be alive. Nicole immediately questions her, but because they're broadcasting live, the director cuts them off. Claire quickly denies her own words, but it's clear she knows something. Maddie is with the other spirits when Simon arrives, saying they need to talk. They sit at the school bus stop. Simon came because Mr. Anderson has started to suspect him, and he wants Maddie to keep an eye on the teacher so he won't be harmed like she was. But Maddie tells him to go to Nicole instead since Maddie can't physically affect anything. Simon reluctantly leaves to find Nicole. After Simon leaves, Wally and a few other ghosts approach Maddie. They tell her to go to the auditorium because a ghost named Mina lingers there and might know something. Maddie immediately heads there. Upon arrival, she notices movement upstairs. Following the sounds, she goes backstage. Mina. I'm Maddie. The new girl. Mina seems unwelcoming. She says she stays here to prevent others from suffering the same fate she did, yet no one ever appreciates her efforts, so she refuses to help Maddie. Maddie can only search on her own. She finds a badge on the floor, and just as she's wondering about it...
Hi. Jeez. Dawn.
Dawn is the ghost who has been trapped at the school the longest, but because she's a bit odd, no one really pays attention to her. She knows Maddie is searching for clues and agrees to help. Dawn says she knows a group of ghosts who died in accidents on campus. With more people, they might find clues faster. But when Maddie approaches the group, the old school band, none of them acknowledges her because she knows nothing about music. Even so, she still manages to find a clue. Meanwhile, Simon runs into trouble. Since Mr. Anderson's phone went missing, he reported it to the police, and Simon becomes the first suspect. At the station, Simon openly tells them he saw a large amount of cash in Mr. Anderson's office and believes he might have killed Maddie. But the police place a phone fragment in front of Simon, saying Mr. Anderson voluntarily turned it in, and another piece was found in Simon's own desk. As for the cash, they searched Anderson's office thoroughly and found nothing. With no solid leads in Maddie's case, the police speculate she staged the entire scene herself, faking an attack, switching phones, and colluding with friends to frame a teacher, all so she could disappear from town.
When in reality, she simply ran away.
With Simon gone, Maddie turns to the other ghosts. They dig into school history and discover the badge Maddie found is from an old marching band uniform, the same group of ghosts she met earlier. They decide to ask Mina again.
What do we do now?
Now we have to find some flowers.
Indeed, every girl loves flowers. After receiving a fresh bouquet, Mina agrees to help. Maddie shows her the badge and asks about Mr. Anderson. Mina says she recognizes it. Mr. Anderson used to sneak into the auditorium causing trouble.
Sorry. Begging?
Mina doesn't answer. Instead, she reveals a hidden passage leading to the basement. Downstairs, aside from props, there are old and new school badges everywhere. Wally then finds a purchase order, a large order of marching band uniforms, signed by Mr. Anderson. Wally thinks they need to tell Simon immediately. When Simon returns to school, Maddie rushes to him and tells him to report Anderson. With solid evidence, Simon agrees. While the teachers are in a meeting, he bursts into the room and shows the principal the new marching band uniforms, saying Anderson counterfeited them. Simon explains that Anderson bought cheap old uniforms with school funds, then hid under the auditorium stage to swap the badges and resell them as new for profit. Even though I can't prove he killed Maddie, I can prove he did this. After this incident, Maddie discovers something important. While all the ghosts are watching a movie on the basketball court, Dawn suddenly pulls out a phone to take a selfie with Maddie. Maddie asks where she got it, and Dawn says she found it backstage. Maddie then wonders how she unlocked it.
I know everyone's passcodes.
Dawn, what do you mean everyone's?
Maddie almost loses her mind and sprints off to find Simon. Before he leaves, she now knows Mr. Anderson's phone password.
Simon! 495-273!
Claire, preparing for a performance, receives a call but hangs up without checking.
You reached Claire Zomer. Do me a favor and just text me, okay?
The killer immediately shifts to Claire. It's unbelievable. Claire wasn't just a model student, she was once Maddie's closest friend. As kids, they were like sisters, but later they drifted apart when Maddie started dating the boy Claire secretly liked. Still, Maddie can't accept Claire as the killer. Just days ago at the pool, a student nearly drowned, and Claire immediately jumped in to save them. Her rescue technique didn't resemble that of a murderer at all, but every clue so far points straight to Claire. To investigate further, Maddie and Simon follow Claire during her birthday party, but even after staying close to her, and Maddie even checking Claire's bag, they find nothing suspicious. Just as they're about to give up, Claire goes to see the principal. Claire's father is one of the school's major investors, so meeting the principal is easy for her. She comes to discuss Mr. Anderson's situation. After being caught counterfeiting uniforms, he was suspended for a week. The police also have no evidence against him, and he's Claire's thesis advisor, so she demands the principal reinstate him, or she'll have her father pull funding.
Claire,
Maddie may have found nothing, but her mother discovers something huge. She's been tirelessly asking relatives and friends to search. Someone calls to say Maddie's backpack was found in their old house. Since police found nothing there before, this gives her hope that Maddie is still alive.
Get to school. And, thank you.
Xavier rushes to tell Simon the news, but Simon ignores him and avoids him as before, because he has uncovered Claire's secret. Nicole, confused and upset, storms off. Even without them, Simon calmly continues investigating alone. Simon goes to the janitor to borrow the keys to Mr. Anderson's office. Since they've always gotten along, the janitor agrees. As the school prepares for its annual festival, Maddie sits sketching decorations. Suddenly, she sees her mother at school, something that never happened when she was alive. Maddie immediately follows her. Maddie follows her to the homeroom teacher's office. Her mother looks hopeful instead of heartbroken. From their conversation, Maddie realizes her mother believes she's still alive because of the backpack. That belief becomes her lifeline. Maddie is deeply moved. As they leave the office, Maddie notices Simon sneaking around in Mr. Anderson's office.
You are not gonna believe this. What's wrong?
Maddie says maybe they should stop investigating, because her mother finally has hope again. If they uncover evidence that Maddie was murdered, it would destroy her. But Simon refuses to stop. He grabs all of Claire's essays, because he's discovered every one of them was plagiarized from decades-old papers. For some reason, Mr. Anderson still gave her straight A's. It's an important clue. Still, Maddie doesn't care about any of it. She only cares that her mother is smiling again.
But maybe if we just put all this on hold, it means my mom can have a life.
But at that very moment, Claire confronts Mr. Anderson, demanding to know what he told the police. Terrified he might expose her, Mr. Anderson coldly replies,
Did you say anything about me?
You know what? I don't remember.
Meanwhile, Xavier continues searching for Maddie. That night, he sneaks into her old house, but is shocked to learn someone else got there first, someone clearly trying not to be seen. Back at school, the festival is in full swing. While everyone is celebrating, Claire, the cheer captain, shows up late, visibly nervous, as if something has just happened. During break, a police officer walks by and Claire panics even more. After he leaves, she rushes to a trash bin and vomits. During the crowded school festival, Maddie's mother and her friend come to hand out missing person flyers. It seems ordinary, until something strange happens. As the festival nears its end, Simon, Nicole, and Xavier all receive a video showing Claire and Mr. Anderson arguing. The hidden camera video shows Anderson stealing money and warning Claire to keep it a secret or they would both be ruined.
Yeah, why'd they send it to us?
You guys get it too? Yeah, and who the hell recorded it?
Maddie is watching the festival when she turns around and sees her mother standing behind her, staring at nothing. She thinks her mom might see her, but it turns out her mother is just desperately searching the crowd for any sign of her daughter. When she finds nothing, her mother leaves with a heavy heart. Simon arrives and shows Maddie the video. Watching her mother walk away devastated, Maddie realizes her mom hasn't moved on at all. She's simply clinging to the hope that Maddie is still alive. Maddie realizes things can't go on like this. She decides to find the real killer so her mother can finally accept the truth and move on.
What do we do now?
Simon brings Maddie to see Xavier. If they want answers, they must start with him, Maddie's former boyfriend. Maddie tells Simon to coach Xavier on how to win Claire back and get her to talk. After they finish, Simon suddenly remembers that earlier that morning, when he visited the janitor for the keys, he saw him watching a video. Simon suspects the janitor might be the one who sent them the anonymous clip. They go to see the janitor, but he says he knows nothing. The video he was watching was different, footage of someone finding Maddie's blood in the boiler room. Since the police recently suggested Maddie might still be alive, people came and vandalized the place with cruel messages. Maddie ignores the video and heads straight to the boiler room. Simon, realizing it has nothing to do with the janitor, rushes after her. They arrive at an old storage building that hasn't been cleaned in years. Inside, they suddenly discover a hidden tunnel behind a wall.
I'm guessing this is how Claire dragged your body out of here.
But after searching thoroughly, they find nothing else. Another promising lead disappears. With no other options, they decide to rely on Xavier. Simon had already coached him on how to get close to Claire again, and she used to love him. As expected, Claire still has feelings for Xavier and quickly agrees to get back together.
Claire said yes.
That's good.
Shit, what now?
Maddie and Simon now strongly believe Claire is the killer, but they have no proof. That's why they need Xavier to get close to her during the upcoming school dance. At the dance, the trapped spirits also show up. Even though they exist in a different world, they join in because eternity is boring. Meanwhile, Claire finds Xavier in the school bathroom and asks him to be her date for the dance.
Pick you up at 7 tomorrow.
You don't want me to drive?
I want to drive.
Why?
My car has a bigger backseat than yours.
With everyone carrying their own worries, the dance finally begins. Students arrive dressed in their best outfits. Claire arrives at Xavier's house to pick him up. Halfway there, she suddenly pulls over and locks the doors.
Claire?
I want to talk.
Isn't that what we're doing?
No.
Maddie also arrives at the dance in a beautiful dress, but since she's a ghost, Simon is the only one who can see her. While Maddie and Simon are at the dance, something strange happens at Maddie's mother's home. As usual, she's watching TV when she suddenly sees a shadow pass by the window. Curious, she turns off the TV and looks outside but sees nothing. Thinking she imagined it, she heads back, but immediately stops, grabs a flashlight, and steps outside for a closer look.
Maddie?
Meanwhile, Xavier uses the excuse of drinking to ask Claire about the old house. Claire freezes for a second, then replies by asking if he thinks she's secretly seeing someone there. Seeing she's dodging the question, Xavier decides to wait for a better chance. Xavier takes the chance to grab more drinks and goes to Simon and Nicole. He says he needs to be alone with Claire because she's a skilled liar, so he'll have to use certain tricks. He asks them not to interrupt him and then leaves. But right after Xavier leaves, both Simon and Nicole receive a text message from Maddie's mom. Nicole quickly calls back to confirm.
She said she was watching TV and she heard someone in the backyard. She thinks it's Maddie.
Given the situation, and needing to keep track of Xavier, Simon lets Nicole go to help Maddie's mother. Meanwhile, to extract information from Claire, Xavier sacrifices himself and takes her to the boiler room. Even when Claire spots the phone recording, Xavier stays calm and immediately takes control of the situation.
I know you swapped Maddie's phone.
Xavier explains that Claire is the only person at school who could quickly find an identical phone. He then shows her the secret recording of her and Mr. Anderson, threatening to hand it over to the police if she doesn't tell the truth. Claire panics. Cornered, she admits she caught Mr. Anderson doing drugs and blackmailed him into giving her A's. The cash in his office came from him selling drugs.
Gave me an A, I wouldn't say anything about the money.
What about Maddie's phone?
Claire explains that on the day Maddie vanished, she and Mr. Anderson were arguing when Maddie accidentally witnessed it. Afraid Maddie recorded them, Claire secretly swapped Maddie's phone and gave it to Anderson to destroy. To cover her tracks, Claire forced Anderson to give Maddie hush money. She insists that's all she did. She knows nothing about Maddie's death. She only did all of this to preserve her perfect reputation. I didn't hurt Maddie. I don't know who did. Xavier reports everything to Simon, saying he believes Claire because she seems sincere, and because none of them can unlock Maddie's original phone anyway. Just like that, Xavier's lead collapses, but thankfully, Maddie's mother has news. When Nicole arrives to help Maddie's mother, someone knocks on the door. It's the sheriff, with new information. Police found Maddie's backpack in the old house, and this time, they also discovered a blood-stained crowbar outside in the yard. Following this lead, police arrive at the home of a suspect, the school janitor.
I can't release the name just yet, I'm sorry.
Hearing this, Maddie's mother breaks down. Moments ago she believed Maddie was alive, now this news crushes her completely. As Maddie and Simon discuss their next move, they overhear voices downstairs, the principal and another person talking about the crowbar. Shockingly, Nicole, still in her prom dress, is out in the rain digging for something in the woods. A week passes, and Simon knows nothing about what Nicole has been doing. Suddenly he goes to find her, since she hasn't shown up to school since the night of the dance. Naturally, he goes because of Maddie. Graduation is approaching, yet they still haven't found a single solid lead. The janitor is only a temporary suspect. If they fail to uncover the killer before graduation, Maddie's spirit might be trapped in the school forever. As Simon and Nicole talk, Simon notices Nicole's senior project, filled with photos of Maddie.
I mean, it's cool. It's just a lot of Maddie.
What are you trying to say?
Simon quietly puts the pictures down and comforts Nicole. They've investigated for so long, suspects keep shifting, and yet they've found nothing. But after Simon leaves, Nicole throws every photo of Maddie into the boiler fire. Meanwhile, the ghosts try everything to help Maddie regain her memories, but after decades stuck at the school, they've never seen a case like hers, so no one knows what to do. Just then, Wally recalls reading in an old book that external stimuli might help someone with memory loss recover their memories. So the ghosts try letting Maddie smell foul odors, taste strong foods, even listen to awful music, but nothing works. As they're about to give up, Dawn speaks up. She says she studied psychology when she was alive. Under hypnosis, the mind becomes blank and the body feels like an empty shell, making it possible for another spirit to enter.
Did you get any of that?
Dawn continues. I highly encourage using this method. Memories are like ghosts. You just have to summon them back. Meanwhile, Simon and Xavier discuss new strategies. Because the police only detained the janitor without real evidence, they eventually had to release him. Xavier says he doesn't believe the janitor is the killer. The man can't even step on a praying mantis. Also, during the 8th period when Maddie disappeared, the janitor was fixing a window in the boys' restroom. Xavier saw him because he was hiding there trying to unlock Maddie's phone. Claire, meanwhile, is desperate to know who filmed her conversation with Mr. Anderson. All the clues are becoming more confusing. Suddenly, Nicole questions why Claire, once arrogant and aloof, is now so helpful. Is it guilt? Her comment irritates Xavier. Simon quickly comforts Nicole. She hasn't acted like this since Maddie disappeared, but Nicole refuses to listen and storms off. These moments plant a seed of suspicion in Simon, but because Nicole is his best friend, he brushes it aside.
Hey guys, what are you guys doing?
Claire claims they are staging damage to her car so the police will come, hoping to flush out whoever hurt Maddie. Claire distracts the officers while the others sneak inside to check what evidence the police have. Everything goes smoothly. 2 officers arrive at the school, and Claire distracts the sheriff. Since the sheriff is Xavier's father, and Xavier often visits the station, he knows the layout well. They sneak into the evidence room and find items related to Maddie's case. But Simon suddenly notices the evidence is fake. He asks Xavier whether the footprints they found in the woods were discovered together or only by Nicole.
We split up in the woods. She was alone.
This is not Maddie's boot print.
Meanwhile, Nicole panics and rushes to the school computer lab, threatening a kid who's sitting at the computer she wants. When the teacher arrives, Nicole asks if deleting a folder means there will be no backup. The computer teacher explains that no matter how much she deletes, the system automatically saves backups every 3 minutes. Meanwhile, Simon returns to school to find Maddie. He tells her about Nicole lying regarding the footprints, but Maddie refuses to believe Nicole is the killer. In all the years they've known each other, they only fought once, at the cafeteria, over what to eat, which made Nicole storm off to eat alone. It was a small argument, and Maddie apologized afterward, so she doesn't believe Nicole could ever be a killer. But with the suspect constantly shifting, Simon believes they shouldn't dismiss any possibility.
Pump the brakes. If you're wrong, She will never forgive you.
After Simon leaves, Maddie goes straight to Dawn. She wants Dawn to use hypnosis to help her recover her memories. But after several attempts, Maddie remembers nothing. Instead, Dawn ends up reliving her own painful memories.
And it just gets worse and worse.
With no other choice, they give up, but none of them realize the hypnosis has actually affected Maddie in some way. Meanwhile, Claire and another student search the janitor's room and find a clue. The janitor had overheard Claire arguing with the music teacher and wrote it down in the school schedule, and that day was indeed the cheer team's practice day.
Hey, you may want to talk to your friend Nicole.
After Simon finishes his exam, Maddie meets him as usual. He tells her everything, and they decide to confront Nicole. But Nicole is in the computer room frantically deleting files, totally unaware that she's been caught.
Don't bother, Nicole. We already know the truth.
Simon gets straight to the point, asking why she did it. Was it really because of a silly cafeteria argument? Nicole tries to deny it, but Simon keeps pressing and even threatens to take her to the police. Finally, overwhelmed, Nicole breaks down and tells the truth. She did record Claire and Mr. Anderson and sent the video to him for blackmail, but she insists she didn't kill Maddie, she only wanted money. The three of them once promised to apply to the same university, but Nicole was told by her teacher that she wasn't good enough to get in. So she wanted to stay close to Maddie and Simon, because her family couldn't support the life she hoped for. She happened to see Claire arguing with the English teacher that day, so she recorded them to blackmail him. She insists she knows nothing about what happened to Maddie. Simon is moved, but reason overrides emotion. He asks where the money is now, because if the police know Mr. Anderson never kept the cash, they may clear his name. With no choice left, Nicole leads them into the woods to the spot where she buried the money, but after digging and digging, the cash is nowhere to be found. It's as if it vanished. Meanwhile, Maddie's mother is in Maddie's room holding a thick envelope full of money. She opens it, panics, then quickly hides it back in a drawer. At that moment, Maddie arrives and sees her friends digging. Something suddenly clicks in her memory.
You're being a brat! That belongs to me! You have to get over it!
Right then, Maddie suddenly spots a dark figure in the woods. She tries to warn Simon and Nicole, but no matter how loudly she screams, they can't hear her, because she's only a spirit. Thankfully, Nicole notices and immediately warns Simon. Thinking it's the killer, Simon grabs a shovel and runs after the figure.
Simon, don't! Don't! Please don't! Simon! Maddie! Leave me alone! Don't!
I need to talk to my mother.
So, to confirm whether her mother is the killer, Maddie has Simon sneak into the house to find the hush money tied to Mr. Anderson. And after searching around, Simon finds the envelope Maddie's mother hid. He quickly leaves with it. Simon hands Maddie the envelope. Inside is the necklace Maddie wore when she was alive. Seeing it, Maddie is even more convinced her mother is the culprit. She wore that necklace the day she disappeared, and afterward it was gone. Now the most important thing is to bring Maddie's mother to the school to confront her. But how? Her homeroom teacher surprisingly provides the perfect excuse. Before Maddie died, she wrote an essay that won first prize in the fall writing contest. This gives Simon the perfect excuse to invite her mother to school. When Simon lures her there, Maddie's mother arrives as expected, but even with Maddie trying to help, Simon can't get anything out of her. Sensing something strange, she prepares to leave. Seeing the chance slipping away, Simon urgently shows her the necklace. Maddie's mother freezes, not angry, but heartbroken. Simon places the necklace on the table and asks if she killed Maddie, but she is too devastated to speak. Seeing her mother suffering, Maddie reaches toward the necklace. The moment she touches it, all her memories come flooding back.
I remember.
Hi! Sweetie!
It turns out that on the day it happened, her mother came to the school to find her. Maddie didn't want her friends to see her mom, who was addicted to drugs, so she led her to the stairwell to talk. Her mother said they were moving to a new house, because she had spent Maddie's entire college fund to buy a beach house. Maddie was furious. Her future had just been taken away. Right then, the dismissal bell rang. To avoid being seen, Maddie dragged her mother to the boiler room. There, Maddie demanded her mother sell the house and get the college money back, but her mother, not in a clear state of mind, refused. The argument escalated. Hurt and desperate, Maddie threw the necklace back at her mother, saying she wanted to cut ties.
Maddie, just leave. Leave me alone.
Her mother left with the necklace. Maddie stayed behind, crying as her dream of college fell apart, and this also proves her mother wasn't the killer. She left before the incident. The trail goes cold again. Meanwhile, Xavier goes to the police station to clear the janitor's name, telling his father, the sheriff, that the janitor was in the boys' restroom with him the day Maddie disappeared. But the sheriff refuses to listen. the case has dragged on too long and the public wants answers. Before leaving, Xavier secretly snaps a photo of an address written in the sheriff's notebook, then he gathers Nicole and Claire. Xavier believes the police discovered something important at that address, so the three decide to go investigate.
We go confess now without any proof to back us up, and it's over.
And the real killer gets away.
So the three sneak to the address late at night. Seeing the eerie house, Nicole tries to call Simon for backup, but Simon is attending Maddie's award ceremony and doesn't pick up. With no other choice, the three decide to move forward. To avoid leaving evidence or being seen, they have Claire stay in the car as lookout while Xavier and Nicole investigate the house. As they check each room, they find new clues. Nicole notices signs of recent human activity. Someone had been living here, and not long ago. This might actually be the killer's hideout. Just then, Claire spots a person dressed in black sneaking into the house. Afraid Xavier is in danger, she rushes inside. Nicole, someone else is in here. Just as they try to escape, the door slams shut. Claire panics and calls for Xavier. Hearing the scream, Xavier rushes over but bumps straight into the figure in black. Run. The killer casually steals their car and drives off. Xavier is knocked unconscious, but thankfully Nicole manages to record the entire incident. Watching the footage, Nicole is shocked. She immediately sends the video to Simon for confirmation. After receiving the message, Simon rushes to Maddie. Maddie says she has accepted everything. Whoever the killer is, she doesn't want the living to get hurt. She wants everyone to stop investigating. Simon is touched, but he still shows Maddie the video, because the face of the killer recorded by Nicole is Maddie herself.
Maybe you're just some fucked up coping mechanism that I created to put off the pain of losing you.
Simon, this is real. This is me. Simon.
Simon doesn't listen. He leaves the school. Maddie tries to run after him, but the moment she crosses the school's boundary, she is instantly pulled back to the boiler room. As she reappears in the boiler room, she hears a desperate cry, the exact same sound she heard the day she disappeared. Back then, after her mother left, Maddie also heard someone calling for help from inside the boiler room. She followed the voice deeper in. The voice came from behind the metal door. Maddie tries to open it again, but this time it won't budge. Behind the door are the other ghosts, trapped inside with Wally. Seeing Maddie, they reveal the horrifying truth. After Dawn ascended, they suspected a way out might actually exist, so they asked the oldest ghost here, Mr. Martin. But Martin refused to answer and scolded them for asking. Suspicious, the ghosts investigated on their own, and uncovered a shocking truth. Martin lied about how he died. He was not a victim, he caused the accident himself. The school was built on top of an abandoned chemistry lab. Martin discovered he could use the lab to manipulate human spirits and trap them within the school grounds. He killed himself deliberately so he could exist longer as a spirit, using the trapped ghosts for decades as his experiments. The last time, Maddie accidentally witnessed his experiment behind the door, so he killed her. In fact, every ghost trapped in the school might be his doing. But Maddie's unique situation has disrupted his plan. She might be the key to ending it, but now it may be too late. Meanwhile, the figure in black reaches a bus station, buying a ticket to leave town, carrying a bag stuffed with money, introducing herself as Maddie.
It's Maddie.
The movie ends here. The title is School Spirits, recently released. As usual, what do you think of the film? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next recap.